Okay, we're still in chapter 2. We were talking about absolute value equations. It says, what is absolute value? Absolute value is a number's distance away from 0. And when do we use it in real life? When we're talking about things, oh goodness. When we're talking about things, anything involving distance, okay? Actually, I'm going to have you, I have a few examples, but I'm curious. I want you to look up when is absolute value used in real life. And if you can tell me, I'll give you extra credit points, one for each one. I'll give you homework extra credit points if you can tell me when we use absolute value equations in real life, okay? I'm really curious to see what you come up with. It says, what can you say about the statement, the absolute value of x equals -5? So if a number's distance is away from a number to 0 is -5, is that even possible? Can we have a distance of -5? No. So there would not be a value for x to make this true. No solution, okay? So that's not even true. So if you get a question like that, it's just no solution. There's no value of x that'll give you a distance of -5, okay? It says, what if my distance is 3? So if you have a number line and your distance is 3, what numbers could you have been? I could have been 1, 2, 3, the number 3. And if you go this way, 1, 2, 3, you could have been -3. Because there's two different directions, there's going to be two different answers. It says, we now can conclude that for every equation we solve that has absolute values, we will always have two equations or two numbers. So here we're going to have two equations. If my distance is 3, I know whatever is in here could have been the number 3 or it could have been the number -3, because the absolute value of 3 is 3. And the absolute value of -3 is 3. So what would x have to be in order to get 3? And what would x have to be in order to get -3? So if my distance is 3, x would have had to have been 8. And x would have had to have been 2. Well, if x is 8, 8 minus 5 is 3. The distance from 0 to 3 is 3. If x would have been 2, 2 minus 5 is -3. The distance from 0 to -3 is 3. So x is 8, x is 2. You can write it like this, or to write an answer, you can use brackets and say my solutions are 2 and 8, another bracket. You do not have to. Okay? Let's try some more. If my distance is 4 on a number line, think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could have been the number 4, or I could have been the number -4. So I'll always have two equations. What would x have to be in order for my distance to be 4 and -4? So if x is 5, I remove 1, I get 4. My distance from 0 to 4 is 4, correct. If my value is -3, -3 plus -1 is a -4. My distance from 0 to -4 is also 4. Okay, that's it. It's pretty simple. Absolute value has two directions for distance, so you're always going to have two equations. Remove the absolute value bars when you set up these two equations, because you're talking about the stuff inside. So the stuff inside is going to give you that. So if A is 10.3, I put 10.3 in here minus 3.3, that gives me the absolute value of 7, which is 7. Yep. If I put 3.3 here, I get -3.7. So -3.7 minus 3.3, that's going to give me -7. Absolute value of negative 7 is 7. You don't have to keep checking, I'm just showing you. So let's pause the video and try this one. They should be your answer. All right, example 5, do you know what it is? Your distance is negative 10. Immediately know, no solution. Okay. All right, the last two is, oh, my distance is negative 12. Well, not really, I have this negative 4 in the way. The 4 cannot come in here. These are not parentheses. So I have to remove multiplying negative 4. Oh, my distance now is 3. If my distance is 3, I could have been the number 3, or I could have been the number negative 3. That's it. Same thing here. My distance is 10. Well, not really. I have to get rid of this subtracting 2. And I have to get rid of multiplying 3. Oh, so now I know what I have. I could have been 4, or I could have been negative 4. That's it. It says you try. This is x minus 7 equals 10. Absolute value negative 2 plus x equals 14. Absolute value x equals negative 7. 3 times x equals 12. I want you to pause the video, try these on your own, and then come back. Notice how I set up the two equations first. I don't write one and do it. I said set it up, boom, and then go. If I was taking a test, I would check. If I substitute 16 back in there, minus 2 is 14. I'm good. Negative 12, negative 2, negative 14. Good. Divide by by 3. You're going to get 4 and negative 4. All right, make sure you do the 8 problems of bookwork. That is posted.